Hi friends, welcome. Today we are going to discuss about foreign exchange rate regimes. What are the types of exchange rate regime systems are there? We will discuss main important two types of exchange rate regimes in this video. My name is Srishan. Once again, welcome back to my educational videos. If you like my content, please like and subscribe my channel. So here we are mainly looking two main important types of exchange rate systems. One is fixed and second one is floating. Here we can first analyze what is fixed exchange rate system. It is also called as pegged exchange rate. The exchange value of one country's currency is fixed against another currency's or another country's currency. That is called as fixed exchange rate. That means you can say that the currency value fixed against another currency or pegged against another currency by the central government or the central bank of that nation. We have several examples of fixed exchange rate. One we can take it as dollar yen, where the central bank of China, that is PBOC, called as PBOC, what they do that they will daily fixing the Chinese yuan rate on a daily basis, and they will allow that currency to move on a particular percentage or particular pips they will allow to move. In the 200 pips they allow from that level to another from that level to move the currency. In this case, fixed exchange rate, we can see one lower limit and upper limit also. So the exchange rate fixed by central government somewhere here, and they will allow to fluctuate the currencies between this upper level and lower level. And if there is any breach happen, the central bank will intervene in that system and they will allow to protect that currency. Suppose if it has breached upper limit, upper limit or lower limit, they will come, PBOC or Chinese central bank will jump into the market and will intervene in the market, and they will make that currency within that range, or they will intervene into exchange rate within that. We can analyze why and what kind of benefits because of this fixed exchange rate system the country will get. We have one more example, is that Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, everybody is knowing that what the commodity they are exporting. They are mainly exporting oil to the world. They are exporting majority of the nation, and they have a trade surplus with many countries. And what the return they are getting from that exporting of oil is that they are getting return in dollar. So they are the one of the clearest example of fixed exchange rate. They have fixed their exchange rate 1986 on, since 1986. Now that rate is trading around $3.75 against Saudi Arabian Riyal is 3.75. So in this case, they have a surplus dollar from all the world. That means they are getting more inflows than their whatever they're importing. So the outflows are very low and compared to the inflows. So in this case, they are benefiting because of the fixed exchange rate system. Because if they are not allowing fixed exchange rate system, because they have more inflows than outflows, and fixed exchange rate system is helping them to stabilize their currency. Suppose if they are not having that fixed exchange rate system, the currency will see more demand for that Saudi Arabian Riyal, because they are getting majority of the funds. So the dollar supply will be higher, and that will crash the value of the dollar. So in that case, the dollar so the Saudi Arabian Riyal, now it is trading 3.75. From that, it will crash to 1.5 or below that if it is a floating rate exchange rate system. So for protecting from the exchange rate, stabilizing their exchange rate, they are adopted this kind of fixed exchange rate, which is benefiting because they are having good inflows or more inflows than the outflows. So in that cases, they will be benefited. So one of the main disadvantages is that recently, because of the corona, the demand for the oil has come down and the price is also drastically down. So in that cases, there is no natural adjustment, or the current account imbalance may happen, because they are one of the exporting nation. When they export down, they will be always importing also. So in that case, natural adjusting in the price of their currency will not happen. Actually, demand and supply system will not work for this case. Secondly, they need higher forex reserve for managing their currency, for devaluing or revaluing the currency. Recently, we can see that in Chinese yuan, dollar and China, there were a trade war going on. So in that time, what happened is that US has imposed some kind of trade tariffs on Chinese product. So meantime, what happened is that the Chinese currency, or the Chinese central bank daily fixing on a fixed price band. So slowly the Chinese yuan, the central bank has fixed lower, and that way the currency devalued. So with that basis, whatever the trade tariffs imposed by the US, that they have adjusted with their currency depreciation. So when they allow the currency depreciation, they will get the advantage. The exporters are getting some advantage from the currency depreciation. So here we are seeing that central bank will do sometimes devaluing their currencies or revaluing their currencies. So devaluation means that they will reduce the value of the currencies, that they will make it, suppose the currency is trading 3.75 for Saudi Arabian Riyal, they will devalue to 3.80 or something, whereas they revalue means 3.75, they will revalue into 3.70 or something like that. Now we can see what is floating exchange rate system. We have cleared about fixed exchange rate. Now floating exchange rate system. Floating exchange rate system, currency price, one currency move against another currency based on the demand and supply or many other factors. So it is freely moving. There is no controlled movement, or there is nobody to fix the rate actually. So in this case, floating based on the demand and supply or based on some news or all these things, the currency price will be moving. In the long term, the currency price will move based on the economic factors and also the interest rate differentials of two nations. But in the short term, the currency price will move based on the speculation, rumors, or any kind of events or news or something, or central bank intervention also will be helping for the currency depreciation or appreciation, currency movement in the short run. So for floating exchange rates, we can see one of the best example is dollar INR. Here we can see till this period, that is dollar were trading 1990 near to 1992. Our currency were in the fixed regime actually. For after that, our forex market opened for floating free movement. So we can see around 1992, our currency price were trading around dollar against INR is equal to 28 rupees. Whereas now last trade, I think 3rd July, the price is trading around 74.64, that the last Friday's closing rate. So from this 1992 to till today 2020 July, the price is moving based on the demand and supply, and it is freely moving based on the market events. All these factors are the factor for the causing for the rupee depreciation or appreciation, we can see here. So we can see we are one of the nation where importing crude oil, gold, or electronics items like mobile phone, all these things which we are importing. But that's why we have a trade deficit than the trade surplus, because we are exporting very less than the importing. So in that cases, the more demand for the outflow, we have more outflows than the inflows. So what will happen if we have more outflows? Then it will cause for the currency depreciation, because here the currency, when you are giving 28 rupees here, you will get $1. From that case, it touched 74 rupees you have to pay for getting $1, because that much demand for or dollar is there in the market. As I said, more USD outflows, because we are importing more, that's why more USD outflows than the inflows what we are getting. So these period you can see from 1991-92 to till today, the movement is happened basically demand and supply is caused one factor. Secondly, our macroeconomic factors. Third one, interest rate differential. All these things are crossed actually, plus the global events also. So all these factors cause for rupee depreciation. That means free floating the movement actually based on the market decides the movement actually. So what is the advantage here we are getting is that we can see the advantages, something like automatic stabilization of currency. Suppose we are not this currency is not fixed based on the market demand and supply. Suppose more inflow is coming and more inflows is coming. Recently we have seen a lot of FTS inflows are coming into our market, so more inflows are coming, that will help rupee to appreciate. When there was more outflows, like one kind of panic situation or some kind of war announced, that time more outflows will be, because more demand for dollar will happen. So the automatic stabilization will come. Then the second one, central bank can take easily policy changes, and they can adopt or they can intervene in the market whenever they wanted actually. Third one, if they don't have too much resource also, this is the best option for floating rate is best option for that nation actually. If we don't have too much reserve, then fixed exchange rate will be a big problem, because always they have to devalue or revalue their currencies. Here there is no question at all, because automatically the prices are adjusted based on the demand and supply. Where we have some kind of disadvantages of also, because we don't know where the prices are. Uncertainty is there, the price movement, because global market, global shock, all these things will cause for the currency depreciation also. Then speculation will be happening, where fixed exchange rate there is no kind of speculation, because the market is almost stable, where and higher number of higher volatility is also there. Then there will be sometimes lack of discipline, all these things. But nowadays all these things are come down, where central bank is in the full force to control the currencies. If we can see that our market is also, we have enough resource to control the forex reserve to control our currency depreciation. So there is no panic situation because of the floating exchange rate. So whenever there is our import has come down, like we are not importing too much, once the export are picked up, So in that case, the currency value is lower, means dollar INR is value is lower. That will be benefited for other exporters, because that time when they export, they will get 74 rupees, because of this demand and because of this floating exchange rate. So that's all about a small video about fixer and floating exchange rate. I hope you will understand a little bit from this actually, and thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you.